My name is Grant. I'm 21 and I'm from the Chicago area. I joined DarkZero, I think April 1st, 2020, as just a social media intern. I was doing really well. I was mainly focused on TikTok, and our TikTok was doing numbers. It was growing super quickly. And on the side, I was doing a social media analytics for the team. I was just charts, graphs, spreadsheets on our followers, our follower growth, how we compared to other orgs, engagement rates, all that type of stuff. And so because I was doing a really good job as an intern, I had a background in analytics, and I'd been around the game since year one, season one. I was promoted to analyst and moved out to Vegas.
Do you know what an artist and a sniper have in common? But by the time I'm done, that number goes down to 0. Hang in there. I got you, man. Just let me know when grenades start flying. Okay, guys, time to go. Device is going down.
I graduated from Indiana University just a couple months ago. And my degree was in economic consulting, which isn't very helpful, and business analytics, which is very helpful. I was a fan of Pro League since forever, and my favorite team was the old Flipside roster, which goes way back. I was a college student at the time, and they eventually turned into SK, and then eventually turned into DarkZero. So I was just a huge fan of the roster. They were my favorite Pro League team. I was such a big fanboy. I was posting memes on Twitter all the time to both my followers on Twitter. No one ever saw them, but I kept tagging Hotancold, @Mint, people would actually see them, and just trying to bait them into retweeting or liking my stuff. So that's just how I got in as a fan of DZ. Right after Invite, I applied for the internship, and I didn't really hear anything back for 3 weeks, so I assumed nothing was gonna happen. When I applied for the internship, I kind of had this weird resume of bad memes to show that I at least sort of knew what I was doing. So a month later, I totally forgot I even applied. I get an email saying hey, would you like to interview? And I was oh my God, yes, I would love to interview so badly. Just cause how it would have been so cool. I was freaking out just at the thought of just working with people I was a fan of. The money didn't really matter to me at all. I just wanted to have something to put in my Twitter bio, you know?
How to be a tier 1 siege analyst, learn how to take the garbage out. S tier content.
I thought maybe we just close it up, I don't know. Could also play the shield appearance at this point. She feels so bad.
Oh, he doesn't like it.
That one does. This one.
There's cheeses. The garbage was overflowing. That thing doesn't work. I'm literally picking these up by hand, I guess.
Well, every analyst starts with Excel or Google Sheets, but there's a lot of other programs that can do a lot deeper stuff. In terms of data analytics, Excel's kind of a mile wide but an inch deep. It can do everything, but there's some things that it can't do that really well. And I had other experience with other programs that are more narrower but deeper. I use those, and of course my Excel expertise, to kind of do some really interesting data stuff that is kind of tough to do if you're not used to it. One of the harsh realities of being an analyst is that on your best day, you can only really make your team 5% better. A cool stat here and there may be interesting, but at the end of the day, you're going to win and lose games based on how well you play the game, how well you know the game, your strats, your coordination. all of our players have been around the game for a very, very long time, and that matters, especially when the pressure is at its highest, like it will be at Invite. I think that US Finals was a really good wake-up call. It's kind of rough. Before Invite, you can't really scrim the teams that are also going to Invite, especially before you don't have your groups. So, and a lot of the teams, the good teams that aren't at Invite are off, so it's hard to get practice against really good teams. So you might be smoking your scrims, playing super well, but you don't know how well you'd stack up against the best in the world. So that was the good part about US Finals, is that you have the best teams in the world playing for a bunch of money, really just putting each other to the limits. And so now we really got a lot of our weaknesses exposed, and now we have 2 weeks to fix them before the biggest tournament of our lives. Working with Brandon is so interesting because he's kind of like a super coach. Like he's the best coach in the world, bar none, obviously, because of just he's the only, I think, coach that has even come close to his accomplishments as a player. He is the biggest Siege expert probably in the world. And he also has an insane work ethic. Like he's the type of guy that never stops thinking about the game, and he'll put in a 14-hour day without even thinking about it. He's just the best, and I just want to support him the best that I can.
Grant Cam.
Everyone loves the Grant Cam.
Don't say that.
I like to joke that I'm the best, but it's really not true. Most of that joking is from me as a player, and as a player, I'm obviously very far from the best. But even as an analyst, I have a long way to go. I'm still relatively new to this, so I'm just trying to make myself better every day. And that's the fun part, right? If you're at 100% capacity and you know that, then it's kind of boring.
I mean, people always say esports moves fast, but you don't really believe it until you get a job. January 2020, I was tweeting fanboy tweets like, "Go DZ, good luck at Invite, boys, I love you all." Now, we're teammates, we're friends. It's crazy what can change in a year. I don't even know really what to say, but this scene moves pretty quickly.